Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Got a jam-packed show today, and I'm very excited because I have an old friend here. Last time I talked to him, he was not in studio. He was remote. And I think this is his first time on this new set that we have. Yes. We've got James O'Keefe, founder of OMG, O'Keefe Media Group. And James, it's great to have you here.
It's a beautiful place. I'm extremely impressed by your facility.
Thank you.
I know how hard it is to build something like this. So
well, I did it with my bare hands, so I appreciate it.
It takes a team, but I'm truly impressed. I went to the museum yesterday next door. It was quite something.
Well, and you have a good taste when it comes to art and...
Yeah, it was the only museum I actually got to touch and feel the objects and the books and the knives, World War II and grenades. It was really incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah, it really is amazing. Well, we're happy to have you here. And it's interesting you're here right as all of this Epstein stuff is swirling around. We were talking yesterday off air about what the hell's going on with the Trump administration and Pam Bondi. And after I left here yesterday, I saw the news that the DOJ fired Maurene Comey. Of course, this is James Comey's daughter. Mm-hmm. She was a prosecutor for the Southern District of New York. And she was actually, interestingly enough, the lead prosecutor on both the Jeffrey Epstein and the Ghislaine Maxwell cases. And then, as an aside, also the lead prosecutor against Sean Diddy Combs, or whatever the hell he's calling himself these days. And so it's very interesting because she's terminated now. Her father, James Comey, former FBI director, is currently under investigation for his role in the 2016-2017 Russia collusion hoax. And he's being investigated for that social media post, the infamous 8647. And he was like, I had no idea what that meant. I just thought it was a cool shell formation. No, it's just total coincidence, isn't it, James?
Yeah, there's a lot of coincidences.
Yeah. And so you have Maurene Comey, who, again, headline is all she's fired now by Pam Bondi. And she also happens to be involved or was involved in the same district that was involved in the FBI raids on your home, your newsroom. James Comey was the one that was the head of the FBI at the time that you were raided. And to this day, I just want to bring up to the audience, this is something that you have been trying to shed light on.
I think
was it Chris Ray?
I believe so.
Producers?
I believe so. Christopher Ray was
2021.
It was November 2021 during the Biden administration. And the redactions on that warrant, because the Trump administration released the affidavit in March of this year.
Okay.
Everything was redacted. Every
do we have the first two pages of that? So we have the first two pages, if you guys could go to that. So there's the first two pages, and then I have the last two pages right here.
Stuff.
So that first one, it said what? Probable cause is,
and then it just justifying search of O'Keefe's premises. That's, for those of you who don't know criminal procedure. What happens is it's very rare for the Southern District of New York to raid someone without indicting them. It's even more rare for the SDNY. It's called the Southern District, also known as the Sovereign District, because they kind of act, as you've alluded to, quite autonomously. They're kind of rogue agency or rogue part of the U.S. Attorney's Office. So this happens, and when you get arrested, when you get a warrant, you got to go to a magistrate judge and show probable cause.
Right.
So what happened with me is they went shopping to 8 different magistrate judges in 2020 when the Biden eight to try to get these secret subpoenas that are reserved for terrorists and traffickers, child traffickers, drug traffickers, serious criminal conspiracies. Well, this was over like an abandoned diary in Florida, which is not even larceny in a petty sense, in a municipal sense. And they got these magistrate judges to grant them all these secret warrants to raid, to spy on me for a year. And then after spying on me, they went to another magistrate judge, Sarah Cave in the SDNY, and they presented probable cause. And then 4 or 5 years later, March of this year, the Trump administration, the case is closed, which is very rare, and they released this document. Every single line of it has been redacted. And my message to you is, if you think your government is going to be transparent about sex traffickers, but they can't even be transparent about why they raided a newsroom.
There's
so it's
page.
like, And there's only one thing that's not redacted on this document. It's a footnote that says an FBI agent is writing this, and he says, I have learned, amongst other things, that cell phones are capable of sending emails. So this is a clown show. This is not even serious. Like, this is just absurd, completely absurd. God. And the Jeffrey Epstein situation is very similar. They've redacted all this stuff. So the Attorney General of the United States has the power to unredact it.
Mm-hmm. And they're not.
They're not.
And do you have any, I mean, listen, Pam Bondi, I don't think is a very big fan of yours, James.
What makes you say that? What makes you say that?
Well, some of your work has not made her look great.
Well, that's one of the great challenges, I think, being a journalist.
Yep.
You have to kind of decide, and I think at the end of the day, it was a tough story for me to do. You're referring to the story we did on May 8th or 9th where Pam Bondi was in a restaurant disclosing that there are tens of thousands of video of children. And I did not set out to get that. That was provided to me. And at the end of the day, I reached out to the Attorney General for comment, her office, and they immediately went to the White House and said the thing that they were saying privately, publicly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I published the story. But I guess the question is, if I hadn't published that video, what would I be?
Right.
What would that make me?
Right.
I think you would, rightfully so, you probably lose respect for me. I think most people, a little bit, even in MAGA, would probably lose respect for me.
Yeah.
So I had to make a very difficult decision. Now I went to the Turning Point thing last week. I mean, everyone was upset.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So at the time, 2 months ago, I think the temperature in the room has risen considerably.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to understand how they're going to come back from this. That's where I keep going. It's just like, it feels like the trust has already been lost. Like, how do you repair the damage that you've already done at this point when you're talking about trust that MAGA has given you, when we were promised that we were going to get these files? Pam Bondi was going on Fox News, the billions of times she's gone on Fox News since she's been, appointed. And she's like, I've got the files on my desk. Yeah. They're waiting for me to review. I think her
defense is that she didn't look at them. She just knew that whatever the argument is.
Right. The same files that she then gave to all of these influencers and then pushed them out the door to go take their pictures, even though there was nothing in the binder.
It could be the case. Listen, it's theoretically possible that people do tend to project what they want the conspiracy to be, and they get disappointed. I even see it in my life. I publish a story, and they go, "That's it." Their mind conjures infinite, crazy things that are not reflective of the truth. So it's possible. Let's look at the two possibilities, I think. Number one, that it's just not what people think it is. Mm-hmm. There's some truth. There could be the case. Or it could bring down the entire U.S. government.
Right.
But what I do know is that in my experience as an investigative person, there's always a story. There was someone involved. There was someone abetting after the fact. Mm-hmm. There was a conspirator. Some guy was helping him. He wasn't doing all these kiddie porn videos completely alone.
Right. Someone
knew about it. There's certainly probable cause to justify going after those people. So for them to tell us nobody did anything wrong,
right,
is a little strange.
Yeah. There's no incriminating files.
It stands to reason that there's at least one guy somewhere that did something wrong. Mm-hmm. So the solution, what they need to do is take away some of these redactions, both in my case and in the Epstein affidavits. And also, Charlie Kirk said in that prison, they should just, all the names of the prisoners. That's also information they could put out.
Right. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if they actually do, now that I feel like they've been feeling the pressure by this point. So what are you guys going to do? Are you going to be
in uncharted waters? And I think that all bets are off. It's almost impossible to predict the future, because even if they do release the information, it's going to just push more conspiracy, because then they can't release all. Like, let me give you a less abstract example. In my case, with the redaction you just saw, there probably are confidential FBI informants at Project Veritas. It was raided during the Project Veritas time. So the FBI has to protect the names of their sources.
I mean, you can't tell me that all of that
right.
blocked out was just information about a source.
But even if they unredact every single word is preposterous. That's almost like they're laughing. That's like a middle finger.
1,000%.
But what I'm trying to say is, let's say they unredact half of it. I don't know if it's going to satiate MAGA, because it's going to drive more conspiracies. What's behind the remaining black mark? So this is an untenable, impossible situation that's driven by independent media, the lack of trust in institutions, as I tweeted out this week. They, if you Johnson & Johnson story, which we're going to get to, they're talking about how we've injured you, we don't care, we make a product that sucks, no one's arrested, no one's held accountable. And anyway, you rape the children, no one's held arrested, no one's been accountable. The woman, Maxine, she's been arrested, but none of the bad guys. But if you're a newsroom and you're going to get raided by things are so messed up in this country and so broken that I believe the only solution is sunlight. It's upon us, and I mean that. People think we need arrests, sure, but I can't control whether people get arrested.
Right.
So we've got to do the job. You're a reporter, I'm a reporter. We got to do the jobs ourselves. We got to show people the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe that means that Pam Bondi doesn't like us very much. But, so be it.
Well, she must hate a lot of people right now. Forget me. I mean, she's got a lot of people. I mean, Laura Loomer, I'm very close with Laura. She's calling for Pam Bondi's resignation.
Yeah.
Trump listens to her.
Yeah.
So she's got bigger problems than little old James.
Well, I wouldn't say little old James, but yes, I mean, she's got a lot of heat on her for sure.
And in fairness to her,
Sure.
I mean, I got to be fair here. Like Laura Logan, another friend of mine, she posted a message. I mean, people want their pound of flesh, but I'm not sure that Bondi is being malicious here. I don't know if I wouldn't say that. I think you replace her with some other person, they're going to be the same issues. It's the institution. It's the institution of the FBI. It's in my view have become institutionally corrupt.
1,000%, which again is why the base is so frustrated, because we're like, we voted you guys in because we all agreed that this was totally corrupt. And in some cases we were like, burn the whole damn thing down. Yeah. Burn it all down because we don't trust it. It's hard to
burn it down because the thing preserves itself. Yeah. It exists to protect itself.
Sure.
Like when they say we have to protect our sources and methods, my counter would be, well, that's fine. I get it. I'm a journalist. I protect my sources. However, when you point guns at my head and you raid my home and the homes of my newsrooms, the public's right to know why you did that supersedes whatever marginal right you have to protect your sources. Yeah. But that's just not how government works.
Right.
So if I put you in charge of the FBI, you would fail. If I was in charge of the FBI, I would fail. And if you're the commissioner of the IRS, you have 80,000 deep state employees. You get to hire 4 people.
Right.
I can appoint 4 people if I'm the head of the IRS.
Yeah.
So it's a huge dilemma we have. But the president and the attorney general has the authority to do some certain things which they should do, and maybe they will do. Unredact some of this stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. All right, let's go to break, and then I do want to talk to you while I've got you. I know you're you're like the MVP here today.
Oh no,
we're just everyone's trying to get a piece of James O'Keefe. So while we've got you, I want to talk about some of you mentioned Johnson & Johnson. I want to talk about that, and then also another one of your latest projects. When we come back, I want to thank our sponsor first, Birch Gold. So Birch Gold listen, since Trump was sworn in, his administration, they've obviously made enormous progress. I know everyone's like, but the tariffs are going to increase inflation. Well, that didn't happen, actually. But the point is that even in times of stability, I know Joe Biden gave us a lot of instability. Even in the times of stability, you really should look at diversifying your savings. And one of the ways that you can do that is with gold from my friends over at Birch Gold Group. In the past 12 months only, the value of gold has increased by 40%. And global instability and tension is the highest in decades. And Birch Gold is going to make it really, really easy for you to own gold. What they can do is if you have a 401k or an IRA just laying around collecting dust, you can actually convert that into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. It's not going to cost you a penny out of pocket. The government is very, very keen on penalizing you anytime you make any changes to any of your savings. This is not going to cost you anything. You can text my name, Sarah, to the number 989898. They're going to send you a free information kit on gold. There's no reason not to do it. There's no obligation. You're not signing a contract. You're just getting information. All right. I personally have done business with Birch Gold Group. I highly recommend them. It's Sarah, S-A-R-A, to 989898. Well, if you know James O'Keefe, then you know that he is constantly working on exposing something. And James, tell us, what is your latest? You've got this American Swiper series. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is a partnership we've done with something called UNIFYD TV. That's with a Y. UNIFYD.TV, and it's sort of like a kind of a Netflix for this sort of investigative journalism, confirming suspicions People say, well, none of this surprises us, but it's not my job is not to surprise you. It's to confirm what you might suspect. So we've had 2 episodes out. The second one's out today. It's on Disney, and it features a few senior executives at Disney talking about how they don't hire white people and how Bob Iger, in their words, is corrupt, and other statements they're making about their bias, their woke, and how powerful Disney is. It takes you behind the scenes. It investigates just the depth and depravity of Disney Corporation. So these stories had already come out, but this is the behind-the-scenes look with the undercover agents. So we're calling the series American Swiper. It's on UNIFYD TV. The first episode's about the CIA agent that we caught on tape. That guy said that they were withholding information from Donald Trump because they didn't want him to have the intel they were collecting.
A CIA agent?
Yeah, CIA agent says this. He says this over a date with one of my undercover women. And in the first episode, which we never put this out, he gets suspicious and he starts rummaging through her purse, and she
shut up.
Yes, and she runs into the restroom to kind of take out her wires and gear, and then he's satiated by that, and then he proceeds to divulge more information. So this stuff is really strange, and the Disney stuff it's more of the corporate aspect and some of the influence against children. But yeah, this is crazy stuff.
Well, I think we have a trailer for this Disney DEI practice. Watch.
Check. Come on, baby. Come on, let's do it. It all started when Starlight, that's the code word for one of our undercover journalists and American swipers, matched on the dating app Hinge and went on a hidden camera date with yet another Disney executive.
We were the first people ever to get Disney employees to admit that they discriminate against people based on race.
They wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way.
Do you think Bob Iger is corrupt?
Now, yeah. There's no way we're hiring a white male this work.
I knew this story was going to be big. We've investigated a lot of subjects at OMG, CIA, the FBI. For the first time ever, and something very special happened.
Michael Giordano matched with and was actively hitting on yet another one of our swipers.
So now, Michael Giordano is now dating not one, but 2 of our American swipers.
Hey, this guy's 2-timing me.
This guy's on fire. Yeah.
There's going to be a lawsuit.
I will put you on tape.
I'm looking to bring on any more clients who are...
We've never seen undercover footage like this before.
He just had no idea what was coming.
Figured, why not make this a double date? Is this you right here? That one always makes people laugh. It's so ridiculous. First of all, I only wear athletic clothing when I don't need it, and I only wear suits when I should be wearing athletic clothing. That's just like preposterous James O'Keefe aspects. But I actually caught up with the guy in his Tesla, and
did you really?
Yes, that's in the film. And
James is fat. You don't know this little known fact. James is fat.
They used to call me
like a cheetah.
They used to call me White Lightning in high school. You know
no,
why?
They didn't.
Yes, they did. I'm probably getting in trouble for saying this, but it's just facts. I was a sprinter. I ran the 100 and 200 meter. And I was so fast that I think I was the only white dude in my finals.
Really?
I was fast, man. So anyways, the problem with that situation was there was an LA traffic and he kind of like came to a halt.
Oh, yeah, he's screwed.
But I was running. I mean, I was sprinting like a 18-second 100 meters. That's pretty fast.
I mean, you were going fast.
And I have a laptop, and I've got a flag mic, and I'm in penny loafers. And it's 95 degrees in Los Angeles.
Some penny loafers in hot weather ain't going to stop James O'Keefe from chasing you, bitches.
I think that when you're indefatigable and when you really want to get the story, it's one of the most powerful things. Nothing can get in your way. But this guy is part of UNIFYD. That's with a Y. UNIFY with a Y.TV. The series that we're partnering with, this guy, we had 2 different undercover ladies match with him on a dating app. So he was literally meeting with 2 different undercover journalists. And then for the final confrontation, this is crazy. Listen to this. The first girl meets with him. He tells the other girl, no, I'm sick today. I got a tickle in my throat. Oh, no. The second girl shows up to the meeting pretending to be the roommate of girl 1. And the guy sees this other girl. and she goes, "What is this?" And he goes, and then the girl goes, "This doesn't look like a tickle in your throat." So this is all just designed to.
It's so good.
What we do is we try to get the visual proof, and because you could have 10,000 pages of written evidence, but I think people need to see the depravity, the lies, the deception, and the fact that the vice president was saying, we don't hire you because of a certain skin color. That was a big story.
Yeah.
And there's an infinite number of these stories, Sarah, and people keep falling for it.
Okay, so what I love is because we cover your exposés all the time, and we just think it's so funny. We're like, when are these gay government officials going to stop just agreeing to go out on these dates and spill all these secrets to James O'Keefe's people because they fall for it every time?
The only thing that changes is they talk about James O'Keefe to them. They'll even talk about James O'Keefe to me.
No.
So it's not that they're not aware of it. They are aware. They actually, there's so many moments, I wish we had them, but I'll just describe them, where I'm actually undercover with the glasses, and they'll
That's one of my favorites, by the way. I'm like, they fall for it. You're just wearing glasses.
First of all, there's a lot more gay men in D.C. than you realize, and a lot of them are secretly gay. I don't care who you love. I'm not bigoted. I don't care.
Right.
As long as you don't mess with children. That's my personal view. But the problem is, they do tell us about the secret every time. There's this guy with hidden cameras.
They like to gossip.
And his name is James O'Keefe, and he's everywhere. But luckily, I can trust you. I mean, it's a cycle. It's a human. It's a problem. It's almost like a psychosis. People are very full of themselves.
Yeah.
And they like to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they don't ask us any questions. People say, are the girls hot? Well, first of all, I'm not a girl, and I go undercover. It's more so that you're genuinely asking curious questions about them as human beings. You take an interest in them. And frankly, in D.C. and in L.A., these are corrupt places.
Yeah.
And these are soulless places.
Yeah.
And people are driven by power and money and sex, and it's usually one of those three. Mm-hmm. And it's power and is kind of shares a lot with both of those things.
Sure.
So I'll always have a job. Yeah. It's getting, but I do think it's getting harder to shock people, though. I would say, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree with you. Not that there's anything to be done about it. You just have to keep digging.
Keep showing the truth.
Yeah, of course.
It's a little harder to get people to care. I've seen that in my career.
Yeah, well, because people are becoming more cynical.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, well, I mean, oh, wow, Epstein didn't kill himself. I'm not saying you said, but like, oh, Epstein didn't kill himself. Gee, I'm so shocked. Oh, the COVID vaccine, we've been saying that for years. What's going to happen about it? I think people are just so cynical about it.
What I've seen change since I did the investigations in the pharma companies in 2020, which I think was some of our best work.
Yes, it was.
That woke people up.
What was that guy's name? Jordan
Walker.
Yep.
Jordan Tristan Walker. There's a bunch of them we did.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite one by
far. The reaction that he gave us. But what's changed is that people now, I think the American consumer of news needs to decide if they even care about knowing facts. Yeah. It seems like people care more about consequences than knowing. I always have to remind people in the conservative movement that you might know this, but half of the country thinks it isn't true. And even if you're affecting people on the margins, even if you're changing 12 people's minds or 100, and certainly we're doing that.
Sure.
Especially about the vaccine.
Yeah.
Even if you're affecting 10,000 people, you're changing the world. It's like that old saw, change one life, change the world entire. So, but I have found that things have changed, but the truth matters, and getting the visual confirmation is what we do, and that's what UNIFYD Special is about: taking you behind the scenes and showing you how we make the sausage, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. So we have this Johnson & Johnson clip. I think we might have time for it, but I want to ask first. Like, can I be undercover? I want to be an undercover person with you. Am I allowed to say that publicly?
Yes.
Does that blow my cover?
No, apparently not, because I go undercover and doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could wear glasses too. Put on some glasses.
Maybe put on a wig.
Yeah.
Change your wardrobe a little bit.
I got wigs at home. You don't need to know what it's for. It's fine.
That's none of my business.
Actually, I'm kidding. I would go undercover at they're all like, I've got a blue one, I've got a pink one, because I go undercover to the gay pride festivals.
You do?
Yep.
I think you mentioned this to me.
Yeah, we've talked about it. So it's like, it's all the weird liberal.
I think a lot of people don't realize
in.
about the James Bond, kind of thing is that people think it's to me, it's always been more about my affect than what I dress like. It's really about, it's that old book, Winning Friends and Influencing People. You just got to figure out what someone needs and become that if you want to get the story. And there's a great book that we use in our training, and the book is called It's Not About Me. So it's all about the other person. So the absolutely answer is yes, and we'll talk offline.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, they're telling me we don't have time for this.
Okay.
I'm really mad. Control room. Yeah, no, do it. So let me just set this up quickly. So James and OMG uncovered was this a gay date or a straight date?
No, this was just a guy in New Brunswick, New Jersey. This was a non-gay.
Okay, and this was a non-gay. All right, this was Johnson & Johnson.
I don't know what his preferences are, but
it wasn't a gay date.
He was a lead regulatory scientist for Johnson & Johnson. He's responsible for ensuring the vaccine is safe and effective for consumers, and he's on video describing how the vaccine was not safe, not effective, and we pushed it through, and he's eating this ice cream. It's just the visual. Disgusting. I don't know if you have the video there.
Well, what we have is Joshua Rice fleeing into the women's restroom.
Well, let's maybe the first clip below that.
Yeah, we can't play it.
Okay.
But so we've got him. Go watch it at OMG, okay? O'KeefeMediaGroup.com. But let's just watch a little clip here of him being confronted. Watch.
Hi, Josh. Joshua Rice, is it? From Johnson & Johnson? Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity? His identity. Yes, sir. You said that your vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. How do you sleep at night working on a product that you say isn't safe and effective? Why would I say that? Would you like to see yourself on video?
None of that stuff was safe and effective.
Where is he going? He's going this way. He's going to run away. Is he going to walk out the back? He's going in the women's restroom. Are you confused? You want privacy, but you said your vaccine doesn't work. I am a human man. I am allowed to take a pee in the men's restroom. The people have a right to know. I'm standing here with Joshua Rice, who first denied his own identity, then tried to hide in the women's restroom. Excuse me?
Have a great day.
Stand behind what you said and explain to us
Did you have
what
to
you
run
meant
again,
by
James?
it. You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. We have no idea. People, I got it from your mouth.
No. I appreciate what you're trying to do right now.
What am I trying to do? What do you appreciate about it? See how I try to challenge these.
Yep.
Can you please tell me why?
Josh?
Sean.
What's your name? Sean. He starts randomly screaming out random names. Is that you? Just admit to me that's you. And then a fan comes up.
When did I say...
Oh, that's funny.
Hello.
People beep and honk. Hey, we're talking to a Johnson & Johnson individual right now about the vaccine.
I never... God bless you, bro.
See, thank you. God bless you, too.
Are you
That is so perfect.
Knowledgeable?
Am I legally knowledgeable? I just got out of federal court today. True story, by the way. I can't talk to you with the cameras off. Because the last time I reported on Pfizer, I got fired from my own company. Why say all this stuff to a rando in a restaurant, but not to the American people?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what James is talking about with the ice cream, Stu, pull my computer right here.
It's one of the craziest visuals.
He's just eating ice cream, talking about, people wanted it.
People wanted that vaccine, so we gave it to him.
We gave it to him.
Chewing on his ice cream. Oh,
cancer patient's going to die anyway. It's fine.
We're all going to get sued eventually.
Boy, this ice cream is delicious, though.
People wanted it. We gave it to them. It's like, there's a lot of psychology that goes into confronting these guys because I think he was shocked.
Yeah. And
he kept walking. It's a 10-minute video. We have it on our website. He kept walking down the street and he's like, why won't you leave me alone? I'm like, you're across the street. And he just stood there in a state of shock. And I think part of his MO is to try to kind of manipulate me to stop me from publishing it. A lot of the guys, they try to do that. So they'll try to manipulate me into not doing what I'm doing. Yep. No introspection. I
Right.
messed up. Nothing like that. I mean, most of the bad guys that we bust, there's no, and I think it's human nature. There's no remorse or penitence.
Right.
It's just manipulation, and it's an epidemic in human nature. So I will always have a job.
It's good job security for you. All right, James.
Although I get sued a lot, so
that's fair.
There's liabilities associated with it, but yeah.
Which, by the way, where can people go to donate to the great work?
We have a nonprofit. We have a Citizen Journalism Foundation. I'm the founder of Project Veritas, so we do the same work. In fact, we're doing more work than I did at Project Veritas with a better team. But it's o'keefemediagroup.com, and you can find the donation instructions there.
Perfect. And then tell everyone one last time where to find the American Swiper series.
UNIFYD.TV. That's unified with a Y.
UNIFYED.
UNIFYD.TV.
Okay.
Is the 2 episodes where you can go behind the scenes and watch this.
Well, we will make sure to include that in the description. Thank you so much for being here and for all of your great work, and keep in touch, friend.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead. We got to take another quick break, but listen, anytime that I get to talk about bourbon, I'm going to talk about bourbon. And Flying Ace has bourbon. Do I have a new Manna White? Yes, I do. My other Manna White is actually directing the show while Steven's out of town. So I have a new Manna White that's coming here to bring me this wonderful, beautiful bottle of bourbon, the way that bourbon was meant to be. Bold, balanced, and unapologetically American. Okay, this is American. It's actually really embarrassing that I haven't finished this yet. I'm sorry about that. I'll do better. Okay. But whether you're winding down after a long day, raising a glass with good company, Flying Ace delivers every time. This is made in America. This is good bourbon, guys. Okay, make sure to go to Flying Ace Spirits. Use code BLAZE for free shipping. That is Flying Ace Spirits. Support American-made whiskey. FlyingAceSpirits.com. Promo code BLAZE. Welcome to the show. We did a little switch out. Matthew Marsden, BlazeTV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire. You can find him at Matthew D. Marsden on YouTube, along with BlazeTV contributor Jaco Booyens, also founder of JBM, Jaco Booyens Ministries, which, by the way, you can go to helpjbm.org, which brings me to what I want to talk about in this segment, which is something that you guys are doing at Jaco Booyens Ministries. You just released a white paper, and you guys are in DC. I mean, I say all week. You're always in DC these days. I'm like, every time I talk to Jaco, he's like, I just flew in from DC. I'm like jet lagged. I'm really tired. I've gotten no sleep. I don't know how you keep doing this.
Got in 2:00 this morning from DC.
Oh my gosh. But you guys are presenting something to Congress that is very, very, very beautiful. I love it. And I want you to tell the audience what it is.
And so I didn't know you were going to. Thank you so much. I'll be brief.
Oh, you're good.
31 years fighting human trafficking, and there's so much. Congress has really done a great job codifying the law, criminalizing trafficking, writing great policies, 41 task forces funded through Congress, awareness campaigns, but we've never touched the judiciary, the Justice Department. And if you look at where human trafficking is falling apart, it's in the Justice Department. Not just the shiny cases like we've seen recently, but it's all the way down to lower courts. So 2 years ago, as I am a praying man, I'm praying 3:00 in the morning because we have to re-rescue the same victims and arrest the same traffickers because they get let out. And God just gives me an idea, and Aiken Law, massive law firm, says, we'll run with this with you pro bono. And 2 years later, we presented a white paper. It's published, and now Congress, both Senate and House, are jumping on it. And we are, bold idea, but we are asking Congress to go with us and institute an Article 3 constitutional specialized human trafficking court, a federal court, where if it's a human trafficking case in your county, in your city, that the judges, the current judges, are cross-designated, where that case goes to a specialized human trafficking court where the judges know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You don't have Comey's daughter representing or building the case. You have an actual prosecutor that understands human trafficking. They get monitored. They're appointed and confirmed, which means, they take courses every year. They have amazing suite of services that serve them, like SCOTUS is served with amicus briefs. And what happens is an average judge in Dallas may see one human trafficking case every 5 years. So when a real trafficking case comes to him, he's got no chance.
And can we, just for a second, is it because I don't want to speak for you, but I'm going to presume because these cases, they plead down to other charges, it never goes to the judge. Is that? That's
right. It never goes to the court. So let me give you numbers real quick. Tens of thousands of people trafficked in America every year. We've only had 148 federal prosecutions in the last 5 years.
That's nuts.
That is crazy.
148. The white paper, this is Aiken Law, 2 years, 500 PIRs filed, right? The highest number we found in the last 15 years where a state is prosecuting human trafficking is 47% prosecutions, okay? It's now dropped to 16%. Prosecutions are going down, trafficking is going up.
Yeah.
Because they pleaded down. They pleaded down to a misdemeanor, a drug charge, a kidnapping charge. What did they do with Diddy? Removed the sex trafficking charges and did what? Transportation. Because they can make that stick in the court of law. On the Diddy case, I say they threw the case. But on a case that does not high profile, when it's a 16-year-old in Lubbock, Texas, whose father is a trafficker, that's not high profile. The DAs do not build these cases as human trafficking cases because on average a human trafficking case at the moment takes 19 months. In our court, it will take less than 9. Okay. Any other felony is a 9-month prosecution. There's precedent for this though, FISA courts and bankruptcy courts. Yep. So when you look at bankruptcy courts 1978, the judges are saying, we don't know M&A deals. We don't know tag-along, drag-along, shares, mergers and acquisitions. You got to have a specialty court for this stuff. Why not for trafficking? It's more complex, way more complex. There's a human being on the other side. We always say heroin doesn't need defense, but a traffic survivor does.
Right.
Every other felony outside of human trafficking on a federal level and a state level, guess what the number is of prosecutions? 92%.
What is the normal default that they go for if they're knocking it down?
Paraphernalia, drugs.
Really?
Yeah, drugs. Because it goes hand in hand. Those who move people, they keep them sedated. There's always some kind of a drug or illegal arms, unregistered firearm. But kidnapping, they'll take kidnapping. It's basically what they did with Diddy. They took the Mann Act. Transportation for prostitution. Well, if it was going to be prostitution and she says it's against her will, then it's human trafficking.
Right.
That's I was figuring that they'd probably do prostitution. I thought that's what would be the normal.
So the norm is, and most often it's marijuana, right? But it's always a plea down, or it is they'll take anything. But I have federal judges, one that said these cases will not come to my court because the prosecutorial body does not know these cases. They don't see them enough, and they're so complex. If you have a 16-year-old trafficking a 16-year-old, and yes, that happens. That is our most recent case, right? The judges do not know what to do with this. Is he an adult because he's also a victim, because he was trafficked? They cry uncle, so the DAs and the prosecutors just go, I don't even know where to start. This child can't testify. So this court, please look into it. It is so well thought out. And people say, well, aren't you building bureaucracy? Absolutely not. The judges are already in their judgeships. The cases are already in the system.
Right.
They're just adjudicated by judges that don't know what they're doing. Now we find judges or appoint judges that know what they're doing. We educate them and you funnel. It's a redirection.
Yeah.
You direct. So if this court existed, the Epstein case would have been closed and shut in 9 months. Done. Prosecuted. It would have been built very differently. You would have subpoenaed and called witnesses who bought people from him to the courtroom. You built the cases differently, completely differently. The way you go about it, the way you take testimony is not the way they took Cassie Ventura's testimony, because the way they took their testimony made her a human piñata for defense to just knock like they did with Virginia. You wouldn't build cases that way, right? So this court is getting a lot of traction. Thank you so much. This is 2 years in the making, and it's actually good news of, wait a second, you mean there can actually be justice? Swift justice, quickly. Because the law in Texas, it's going to give a guy 30 to life. if he traffics a child, if it's trafficking charges in the court of law. But it's not trafficking charges.
Yeah.
254 counties in Texas, we've only ever prosecuted sex crimes in 10 of the 254 counties.
Jeez.
So you want to know why sex trafficking
it's incentivizing them to do it.
Yes.
Come on, right?
Yes.
So what would happen if we start saying, hey, we had 500 to 1,000 prosecutions according to the law in Texas alone this year through a trafficking court that's getting so sophisticated that BS doesn't fly anymore,
Right.
right? And then if it goes wrong with the case, you know where to look. It's not like, well, it's Comey's daughter. We don't know who built the case. We don't really know files. We can't see into it. It's like, well, this action. No, it's human trafficking court. That's where we're going to go, right? Here's what's going to happen, and my last thoughts on it. Only 1.7% of human trafficking victims ever speak up because they know what just played out
Yes.
is going to play
Yep.
out.
Yes.
If I speak up and my name is out there, I'll be ruined forever because there will not be justice.
Yep.
When you start bringing justice, they're going to speak. They're going to testify. Others are going to come out.
Yeah.
Because if you actually put someone away, you go put one CEO away for 30 years that bought children from Jeffrey Epstein, other CEOs may talk. They may talk. And this court will also adjudicate all the civil trials. So the same judge that's criminal will also handle civil, on the civil remedies, right? On civil remedies for the victims. Every survivor, all the NGOs, think tanks, even on the liberal side. I mean, we just met with very liberal senators yesterday. And they're like, this has to happen.
That was going to be my question. Was like,
Bipartisan.
I would imagine it would be bipartisan.
It's bipartisan because it's a real solution. And the white paper, when you read it, it's non-emotional, it's X's and O's, it's facts. So we're leading up now in September to a Senate Judiciary hearing, and we've curated. America has never heard sex trafficking explained the way it's about to be explained. And you would have wanted that in an Epstein case. Bring the experts. Let America really hear how this, because they ask, why children? Why are people never in jail? Why do the bad guys always walk? Why don't we see information on lists? This Senate Judiciary is going to lay it out, and then we're presenting the bill, and then we're going to ask America to put holy pressure on the Senate to vote it in, and the House, and we will, first of its kind in the world.
Wow.
There's no such court in the world. So,
and by the way,
thank you
if
for
anyone,
covering
of
it.
course, and by the way, if anyone wants to vote against it, please put yourself on
Go
the
ahead.
record.
right?
Put yourself on the
ahead.
record as voting against it.
Tell us that you do
Please.
not want a court that's going to prosecute predators and pedophiles. Go on the
Exactly.
record.
Exactly right. Exactly.
And they should, by the way, they should also give them the death penalty, in my opinion. If you traffic a kid, you need to die.
There's many states that are moving in that direction.
Right, absolutely,
It's state by
100%.
state, but there's also federal statutes. So it's interesting that the judge is cross-designated, so he can try at state level, but then try. So now all of a sudden, if your area does not have a human trafficking judge, you can say, I'm not taking it to Clay Jenkins.
Right. Right.
I'm taking it to that judge.
to the federal
To
human
the
trafficking
federal
court.
human trafficking court.
Good.
I love it. So people can help over at helpjbm.org.
Please. They go to helpjbm.org right now. We've made it, the only thing you see is this white paper. And we did a one sheet for people that just breaks it down in 7th grade language.
Great.
So people know how to talk about it because it gets a little complicated when you start talking FISA and all these. It's simple, it's clean. We're going to promote the dickens out of this hearing that'll come in September. I want America to watch, be glued.
Yeah. I
And
can't
just
wait.
listen. And there's some interesting names that are going to speak at this hearing. It's going to be saucy.
Okay. Well, we will keep me posted on that,
I will,
friend.
of course.
And then, yeah, I mean, I would just like to just point out before we go to break that dead pedophiles don't reoffend. Anywho, we'll be right back. Well, what's going to be making headlines over on CNN and MSNBC is, oh my gosh, is the president fit for presidency? Because unlike his predecessor, President Trump's administration is being very transparent about his health. He is, of course, an older gentleman. And people were like, oh, he's covering bruising on his hands. I think we have a picture of that. Yeah, there we go. And people are like, oh my God, what is the president hiding? Well, Karoline Leavitt told us today that he underwent a comprehensive examination, which included diagnostic vascular studies. And they said bilateral lower extremity ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency. It's a common condition in individuals over the age of 70, and there's no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. And the minor bruising is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. The president remains in excellent health, which I believe because the man is nonstop going everywhere. Joe Biden called a lid at 9 a.m. He had to go home and eat ice cream and go to bed before he pooped his pants. You've got a president here who's like blowing and going all the time. And the mainstream media is going to be like, but what about his hand? Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, you know what? I appreciate the transparency of this administration in contrast to the last administration who told you that Joe Biden dying on stage was just a deep fake. It was just a cheap fake, Karine Jean-Pierre told us. Who, by the way, remember, now is like, I'm selling a book because I'm an independent now. She had no problem lying to the entire country 5 minutes ago before she wanted to sell a freaking book after she was done lying. That she was like, don't believe your lying eyes. I'm here to tell you the president is vigorous. I can barely keep up with him. Well, that's probably because you're retarded, because everyone saw that he was half alive. And at least with this administration, they're like, yes, you may have been wondering about the swelling of the, there was some swollen legs. You may have been wondering about the minor bruising. Here's what's actually going on. It's completely fine. He's just an older gentleman. And that's the only term that I'll use because that's what he deserves.
And 70 or whatever the percentage of America is on chronic medication and drugs themselves. And those that say
more medication probably than President Trump.
More than the president. Probably many people who are watching this show right now say, yeah, I've got the same condition.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, no, there's no there. Okay, guys. So sorry to burst your bubble because I know you guys all on the left actually root for this man's premature death. Yeah, but he's fine.
Yeah, I got a book. I got her book. I found that on the 5th page, I found the coloring really difficult. It was kind of hard. There's like some very like intricate coloring parts on.
Wow, who knew she had it in her?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's an older guy. Right. I mean, newsflash, we know this, but we also know he's tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's nonstop. I mean, we do
not know a guy this age, his age, that can travel across the north and southern hemisphere, fly over the world, jet lag. What jet lag?
Nope, no one like it.
Nobody.
79 years old.
Nobody.
We all look at him and go, I don't know if I could do what he's doing now. It's insane. It's crazy. They're full of shit.
Yeah.
But good for the transparency, and thank you for calling him a gentleman.
He's an older and wiser gentleman at 79 years young. That's what I will say about President Trump, and I'm glad that he is in good health. Gentlemen, thank you.